be a good way. I was putting the phone up and I realised it was a bit wobbly, at an angle, sorry, so I moved what it's standing on just ever so slightly. It looks like I've become enlightened, isn't it? Let's stand a bit more forward. There we go. But no, it's quite simple. I'm in a lot of physical pain, and I'm looking around at all the many things that I can be getting on with, including sitting and lying down. The only thing that really came to mind to help was making a live stream, somehow sending the energy back to my head, which feels like it's, I don't know what you'd call it, been sinking to my feet slowly for a few months now. Yeah, but massive good news. There's light. I've been making a lot of dark videos, and that doesn't really add to the atmosphere in a productive way in any way, does it? Because the subject matter of what comes out my mouth is often hard to hear or depressing, and you don't want to make it harder for the listener than it already is to hear, because I'm fully aware on that level. And I've had my neon lights that I've been trying to get by with, but they've inadvertently been draining the battery a lot more. And obviously I've been running the lights in the day when I normally have natural sunlight. But either way, I've got 2 fantastic new windows put in, and sorry, this has just fallen over. I'm just making sure it goes back in place. I've had 2 fantastic new windows put in, this and the front door, and it's just really nice to see the light. I mean, this you won't be able to see me, I don't think. Nope. So that's how it's been the past few weeks. But it's not how it has to be anymore. And I'm in this really weird place at the moment. It's been weird for a few days now. Every live stream I pick up the energy's weird about it. That's the best way to describe it. Where I am in a place to make it in the first instance. But ultimately it's taking its toll, and I'm getting to a place where I'm ultimately getting to a place where I'm just exhausted with life and the depression, and I'm not able to maintain as an appropriate response to life as I would. So what I mean by that is for my mental health, I have to be very on the ball with my mind. I have to be very alert, apply a lot of energy there. I have to monitor my emotions, my physical body, my thoughts, my energy, my spirit, the activities I've got to do in my life. And manage that. And I am getting to the point where I'm just exhausted with that process. And I'm pretty sure now, if I was able to raise myself to the task of managing as per the previous requirements, I'd be in bed right now. I'd be depressed. This would probably be closed. It helps the eyes with depression. But the way events of the day have taken place, I had to get up and I had to be active from the moment I woke up today. And I had to go out, and I've come back and there was a problem. And then the glazer came, and there's all of this positivity, there's all of this light. And where I'm weak in the first instance to manage, and I'm living life running, when my life is saying withdraw and go in, it's like I'm left in a place now where I'm like, I can't hold the physical pain that my body is in all the time. I suffer with pain, undiagnosed pain. I have my suspicions, the doctors lie. That's how it is. I'm not really, well, I'm bothered, absolutely bothered, and this is the crux of the botherment. But it's a part of a bigger picture, and that includes the collective psychosis and every other thing in my life. So I'm not bothered about the most important part, which is the physical pain. There's a means to practicality, because that's my biggest botherment. I'm channeling Confucius at the moment, trying to confuse my fucking mirror. I can't see. That wasn't a pre-planned opportunity to say, call you fucking in any way. I take that back. I didn't intend that. But you are my mirror in this instance, in all of these live streams, and I haven't seen my mirror to see myself in any way, other than the times I picked up YouTube and listened back to a few videos to see what insight I gave out to help me. And also just to periodically check I'm not publicly going insane and I'm not aware of it. I have to take precautions. I have a mental health disorder. But as a result of the day, as a result of life, because it could have been today, it could have been in 2 weeks, it could have been in 2 months, and for some people it could have been, it can take 2 years and 2 decades even, for life to give them that opportunity to go about their day when they're depressed. That just rocks them off their, rocks us off our, you'd say perch. I don't view depression as bad. I don't view it as the problem. But I'm fully aware of what the world labels and thinks of depression, and for that reason I take it very, very seriously. And I label it as somewhere not to be. But I don't view it as a bad thing. And it's knocked me off of that depression perch at like the most opportune time. Because as I said yesterday, was like ridiculously painful. And it's like, I'm not even fully in touch with my true emotional state in any way. But the overwhelming depression coming through as a result of yesterday, I don't mind saying it's the most depressing well, in truth it would be the most depressed I've ever been. I was just thinking back to the time when I was a teenager and actually experienced the emotion of depression 100%, where I'm not able to now. So for me, in a way, that's always been stronger because it's always been real. It was always 100% emotional. Emotions, that was what it was all about as a teenager. It was all about ego to a higher extent, or a more purer aspect of the ego. But from what life has taught me since is that that's not something to ever feel sorry for yourself about. But it's understandable when I was a teenager, and the emotions that I felt, the depression, for me, forget what the world has told me, I don't want to ever go back to experiencing that. And for that reason, I give everything to fully being aware it's not somewhere to be, not somewhere to rest. And I'm constantly doing my best to get myself out of it. But in the place, I'm fully aware of what's going on, and I can see depression for what it is. And as an adult, I'm able to analyse depression despite what the world teaches us. And I see it's not the problem. It's taught me a lot about the world's depression. And it's actually a means of healing for the body from another perspective. Depression's not the problem. It's just not a pleasant place to be. I don't want to go back there. And I do listen. So that's my perspective on depression. And yesterday was unbelievably painful. And I know within certainty, given the parameters of my life, just with the perception of mind and with those few feelings I could feel, any emotion, I'm fully aware, and I can say it with certainty from a place of mind, that yesterday was the most depressing day of my life. Whereas to apply a level of certainty with mind to emotion, you have to know. And unfortunately, it has to get really painful if this is the application. Trying to analyze depression as a specific emotion from mind. It has to just be like the most depressing day of your life by clearly. You can't do it otherwise. Because those feelings of the depression that I remember from when I was a teenager are more painful than what I'm experiencing now. There's hope where I am now, and there was hope obviously when I was a teenager, but I don't know why. It was about love. It was about feeling unloved. So I felt that emotion, that you don't feel loved in a way that you want. At least here, I know love on some level. And I have stuff, you know? As a child, you don't have a thing. You just, whether you're born into poverty or you're born, well, I speak extremes and I might want to censor my words, but just from feeling, whether you're born into a poor home or born into a rich home, you don't really appreciate the things that are around you as yours. In other words, if you're lucky to have one or two things, not growing up in a affluent family, and then on the opposite side, you do grow up in an affluent family and you have lots of things, your parents are always responsible for what you can use and when. Oh, now's dinner time, Andreas, put that away. Oh, now's bedtime, Andreas, stop reading. Oh, time for school, Andreas, stop that. You don't own it. No, Mum, I want to stay on the computer. I don't want to go to school today. You want to say that again, or am I going to go and get the belt? Sort of attitude. There's no chance as a kid. You can rebel all you want. Bunk off school. That's when it starts, you know, the finding out what's yours when you rebel against the world in some way, I suppose. I don't know. Makes sense for my life. And that in that example is exactly the same thing. I'm not gonna try and find an answer for that now. You're welcome to let me know. I would like to know. But it came at just the right time, you know. I didn't have to sit there, dwell in it for like another week, 2 weeks, 2 years, 20 years. I didn't have to do that. And the next morning, I'm asked to get up and get on with stuff, because I know if I don't, that's only going to get worse, and I don't want to make that any worse if I can avoid it. And unfortunately, in my autistic perception of life, I've based it around energy like a monetary system. You can all manage your money, can't you? Well, that's the same with me in terms of an automatic repurposing of how I manage money in this world to energy. And I know energy on a very real level. I'm lucky to have had experiences and trained in stuff, and an uncle who would taught me energy exercises and made me aware of my body like in every moment in terms of energy. And like in my heart, that's all I desire, is energy more than anything else. Being at one with energy. So management of energy, that's all it comes down to, and that is trained into you by your past. So in the moment, I know from all of the pain of my past depressions, it's best for me to suck whatever this is up, not think about it, get up, make a start, go out, come back and have the glazer here. When in a normal day, that's a massive thing. But I've done that because I know that's not a place to be. And as I said, it's putting me in a place now where I'm not able to go back there. And what's happening is, it's a case of I'm wobbly. That's how I describe it. I'm physically wobbly. I'm in agony. Oh, my legs haven't worked properly in over a year. Possibly 2 now. And I'm exhausted. As I said, I can't sit down. I can't lie down. If I lie down, I have to, you know, lose consciousness and sleep. I can't do it. I haven't really got the finances at the moment, and my boat's set up enough to run the generator enough to use the therapy devices, the few remaining therapy devices that I have that haven't been broken. Mental health. So that's just the situation for me. I'm wobbly, you know, and I was entering into a place of hysteria to manage the pain just before this live stream. So that's why I started it, speaking about, look at the consciousness. When I'm depressed, I have to enter into a place of hysteria to my physical pain, and that looks like an intoxication. An intoxication, if what this feels like to me, is what reminds me of what it used to be like when I used to drink alcohol. But I had to do it. I couldn't, it wasn't like a thought process, oh, I'm going to have to allow myself to be intoxicated. And that's what I normally do. It's normally I'm in control of the pain and it's like, right, I can't take any more. Let's enter into intoxication from the pain. But today it was just like, it was so overwhelming. And I haven't got anything. I'm not in control. It's like I lost control ages ago, and it's just taking more. And it's like taking all my skin away until I'm bone, and it can't take anymore. And at that point, I enter into this intoxicated state. But it is what it is. And as I said, it almost feels like the opposite of depression. I feel high. And in this place, I'm being honest with myself. I'm saying, I'm exhausted. Absolutely exhausted. This place where I find myself with depression, it's just a repetition of many countless occasions since I was a teenager, but specifically the past, 3 years, 4 years? And it's just getting more and more intense. And it's like what they say the spiritual process is like. It's like waves, and they get more and more intense. Something like that. But I can't keep up with the pace. You know, I guess I'm being trained. If they were to back off and give me a break where I could catch my breath and we'd do this again, it'd be real training. But at the moment, I'm at my limit. If it carries on at this level where I'm breaking in the ability to manage all of that stuff, I'm breaking. That used to happen to me a few times a year. At most. But as I said, it's been getting more and more. And now it's happening like every day, every other day, something like that. There's no way I can deal with that. It's like my ability to manage life is breaking. And as I say, I see my life, I know my life, and I've been scared. I've been scared on some level about what would happen, because I know I'm only like 2 days, 3 days away from this happening again and again, before I'm like, right, I'm broken. I can't do any more. And I will be like that depressed state all the time, every day. But then again, I can't sit and I can't lie. So what am I going to do? And I'm petrified of that. So this live stream, this intoxication in this moment has made me realise I'm exhausted. And really, it's done me a massive favour, because I know what's coming. I know what... My mental process has made a few clicks in the background. So I know, speaking to you, what I've just decided. And what I've just decided is that I can't take it anymore. And for that reason, I just got to ignore it. I've got to prostitute my emotions, which are basically my life. It's our experience of life. You prostitute your humanity for the sake of the physical pain and suffering your body is in. And unfortunately, I have things to be active with on a daily basis. And that's moving my body on some level. So if I could be getting on with that, and the depression, my mental weren't so much of a problem. But if my physical health was just enough, that I could ignore all the shit and know that I've got to get on with stuff, because that makes my life better. Getting on with stuff makes my physical body better. And that should be just my focus. As a result of the pain, you can't deny your experience of life, and it's painful. But as I said, you know, it would have been a very painful process to have got me from there plus 3 days and entering into that process, and what it would have taken to gotten me from there to that mental realization is huge. The pain, I know the pain that I would have been in, and it would have been excruciating. Sheer terror to life. That's what was like, I was 5 days a week away from. So, I've just got to get on. I've seen the pain. You've been my mirror. Do you see it? You've been my mirror to seeing myself, to seeing my life, which is all I really needed in this moment. To realise shit ain't worth holding on to, man. If you knew the pain I was in right now, you'd laugh. But that's all I need to know. Mind back onto activities. I know when the emotions come, they'll keep me down because you can't deny them. And I guess I've got to say to myself now, and hopefully I'll remember, is that when I am knocked down to those emotions and it feels like I can't ever get back up again. It's so painful down here. It's so true down here. How can I get up and prostitute myself that way? Because we have a poor memory, I guess, between emotions, which are down there, and these higher states of awareness where we are up here. There's a big gap of reality, and that's dense in between. The feeling, and this is just the mental thought, mental realization. This has a lot of energy, but this has a lot of weight. And this is very dense. So it's just big sand. But I've got to remind myself by stating it in this moment, and this will allow for that transition and memory to take place easier, because I know I still won't remember. It will be so painful when I feel those emotions. So truthful that this is going to be impossible. And I think I've just remembered something else, and it's really weird, but my life's weird at the moment. But as I said, I've affirmed to myself this current realization, and hopefully that'll make it easier when I get knocked down next. And I vow never to get up again. Thank you for being my mirror. Thank you for helping me see. My hair ain't that bad, is it?